Hi.
Hello, there we go.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, that's good. Yeah, so just before we jump into the what is the interview, I'm just gonna do a preview what we're gonna talk about, and
Yeah.
that is Stavtjorn Invitational, one of the biggest under 90 kilo shows in the world, held in Norway in I think it's the last weekend of May. There will be 25 competitors representing 7 different countries. There will be 9 events. The prize purse is about 3,000 US dollars, and it's also a qualifier for the official Strongman Games, which is like the world's strongest man for weight categories. And with me today, I'm talking to who?
Denis. Denis LACASSE. So it's pronounced the French way because I'm from the French part of Canada, actually.
French part of Canada.
Quebec.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so you in this competition you're representing Canada, but you live in
Oh,
Denmark. Is that right?
yeah. Well, actually, yeah. I've been living in Denmark for 3.5 years now, but I would say I'm representing Denmark because that's where I started strongman. But in the strength results, I still have the Canadian flag.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's why.
I see. I see. So yeah, you said you started doing strongman when you came to Denmark. So like how old are you now, and when did you start lifting weights in general?
Yeah, I'm 33 years old. And I started, lifting weights when I was maybe 17, just with some friends in a commercial gym, just doing chest and back and biceps.
Yeah.
But I started taking it more seriously when I was maybe 25, 26, still back in Canada, where I was focusing more on strength, doing squat, bench, deadlift, just trying to get stronger. And then when I moved to Denmark about 3.5 years ago, I discovered strongman at my local gym here in Copenhagen. It's called Target Gym. And there was a few guys doing strongman, and they also held a competition. I think it was back in the summer 2020. Yeah, they held a small show here, and then my trainer kind of said, "Why don't you just try?" And then I tried, and I got hooked at the time.
Yeah.
So then I've been competing since then. So it's been what, 3 years now, almost 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So far, what would you say is like your best competition result?
I would say maybe I got second place in Denmark Strongest Men under 90 last year, 2022. Uh, Otherwise, I also won a show in Sweden a few months ago. It was called Battle of Öresund, where there was a few Swedes and a few Danes. Where I think we were 11 people, and I won that show. But I would say the one I'm most proud of is my second place at Denmark Strongest Men under 90 last year.
Yeah, and if we talk about the specific lift in particular, what would you say is like your best lift done? Is it like a pressing event, or is it a max deadlift? Like what's the lift you're most proud of?
Well, I would say first, I'm not the best, static
Mm.
strength guy. I'm more. I think I'm better at these types of athletic events or moving events, moving with weights. But in terms of my best lift, static. In terms of deadlift, I've done 250 raw, and recently I've done 270 for 2 reps with a suit. And then overhead, I did a log recently of 125 push press. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, yeah, and I think this show is then maybe suitable for you because I don't think like the strongest guys in particular will win this event, but the ones who can like adapt to the circumstances, moving on grass, being fast, cope with competing 2 days in a row, going through 9 events,
Yeah,
like it's a bit different from like a more like powerlifting strongman show, if I if I can say.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
When I saw the events, I thought they were generally good for me, except some of them. But yeah, like you say, I think it's going to be a different type of athletes that will maybe win this show compared to some of the heavier, more static strength shows. Yeah,
yeah, and even like for example, the max axle in this competition. Of course, if you're a strong presser, that would be suitable. But but still, like often people are like just strong strict pressers. They're also used to or not that good to adapt. So when you suddenly stand outside in open air in the mountains, standing on uneven grass or surface, yeah, I think it won't particularly be the strongest presser winning even the max press event, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to be smart in terms of the attempts we choose. Definitely.
Yeah. So you usually compete under 90, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your body weight like right now? Will you have to cut weight for this competition or?
Yeah, a little bit more than I would have liked to. I think the off season was good for me. I'm around 96 in the morning right now. So I would like to cut down, not water cut, but cut down to about 94 before the comp and then do a water cut because I don't like these big water cuts. So yeah, if I can cut down to 94-ish,
Yeah.
that would be my goal.
And you said that when you looked into the events that, yeah, they look favorable for you. Which one of all the 9 events would you say was like, will be your best event? Where you like have the best chances to go like all the way to the top?
Yeah, there's a few of them. I really like Dumble for reps.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good event for me. In general, I like I said, events for reps as opposed to max. So yeah, double for reps, and the one I'm also excited about is the last one, the sandbag loading,
Yeah.
because I do think I have a good conditioning, and I think I can do a lot of reps, but I guess a lot of the guys can as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. But I would say yeah, dumbbell for reps and some sandbag, either sandbag loading or sandbag throwing maybe. Looking forward to it as well.
And if we look on the other end, like what event do you least look forward to? Like when I try to look into your strength profile and strength results, the first one I saw was your 6th placing in the farmer's hold from Denmark's Strongest Man. Was that a mistake in that competition, or is like grip a weakness for you?
It's both. I had a small injury last year, which hurt me a lot on that event. But my grip, like you say, is one of my weaknesses. I work with computers all day, so I have very small hands. So it's still a weakness for me, but I work a lot on that. So hopefully I can finish not last this year. But yeah, definitely the frame hold is the one I'm least looking forward to. Yeah. And the axle press, actually, the max axle press, because log is good for me, even when we're talking about max, but axle I haven't trained that much that event, so it's not a good event for me. And I still have a little something injury on my left arm, which prevented me from really training that yet. I would have liked to practice the split jerk, which I don't know how to do. Well, I know how to do it, but I'm not good at it. So yeah, axle press and frame hold will be my least.
So would that be the axle clean or just the press in general? Like what's the hard part for you in the axle?
Mostly the clean, yeah, and then get a good rack position.
Yeah.
Mobility wise.
I see. So in like total, what's your expectation on your own performance in the competition? I guess you don't know all the 25 athletes and how they are, but like what do you expect from yourself? Are you like aiming for the podium? Will you be happy with top 10? Like what's your thoughts?
Yeah, like you say, it's a little bit weird because I don't know much of the guys, so I have no idea what I'm going to compete against, pretty much. But I would say my realistic goal is top 10. I think on most days I can get that. And if I get a very, very good performance on the weekend, then maybe I can get close to the top 5. But I think top 10 is my goal.
Yeah. So
realistically,
we talked a little bit about the last event, but I want to dig a bit deeper, like on your thoughts. Like, what do you think about last event? Do you think it is playing a too big of a role, like because you have the opportunity to climb so so high, or do you think you got information so early and it's the same for everyone, so it's fine? Like, what's your general thoughts of the last event?
Yeah, in general, I'm not a fan of any event having more weight than others.
Mm.
But as you say, I think it's fair because everyone had the information months in advance, and it's the same for everyone. So, in that sense, it's fair, and in the way it's set up, it's not that. It doesn't have that much of an additional weight because, of course, you can climb as much as you can, but I mean, you'll have to do a lot of reps if you want to climb
Yeah.
more than 1, 2 places.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it will be fine.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting for sure.
So the first event of the competition is a drainer. Like, you're gonna do 9 events, but you start off with a max distance with a 110 kilo sandbag, and I think
Yeah.
you have a turn every 11 meters. So what would you say is your goal, like distance, like from your training wise so far? What would you aim for?
It's hard to say. It's 110 kilo, right? The weight we
110,
have.
yeah.
Honestly, I can't really say a distance. I think I will. I think I'm lucky enough that I'm in one of the last ones to go, at least maybe the top, the bottom third or the last third athletes.
Oh
So
yeah.
hopefully I'll know what's good and not. So I'll have a distance to beat, but yeah, I can't really say a number.
No.
Uh,
Yeah, so that's interesting because that's the first event, and the starting order will be based on when you signed up for the competition, right?
yeah, I
And
think I'm at least in the bottom half.
yeah, I think
So
you're like in the middle, or like,
yeah,
yeah. Then you most likely have a fair amount of mark to beats.
yeah. I mean,
And
it's going to be interesting also on the type of terrain we walk on. I've never tried that before. Of course, when I train on a nice surface in the gym.
yeah,
It's easy, but it's going to be interesting.
yeah, for sure. So we talked about the last event. You have the opportunity to choose, like, when you're going up another athlete, if you're the highest placing athlete, you have the opportunity to choose between the 100 kilo or the 120 kilo bag. What will you like? Uh, what will you base your choice on if you go for the 100 or 120? Like, when you go up against someone else.
I must admit, I haven't really thought about that, but I would probably choose the highest, the heaviest one.
Yeah.
Uh, but I must admit, I haven't really thought about strategy for that yet. But the
Mm.
120 bag is not it's not too much of a problem for me for reps. So I guess I would just try to choose the highest one, so the opponent has a harder time completing the rep, I guess. Because for me, it shouldn't be too much of a problem to crack many reps on that one.
Yeah. So where are you? Like, you traveling from Denmark,
Yeah,
and where are you gonna stay? Like, during the competition, are you living on one of the cabins nearby, or are you living in Stavanger, or?
well, I'm staying at the cabin from Mass, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So when I signed up, he gave me that opportunity. He said, I think there's about 10 guys that can stay there, and of course the price was good, and I think just the experience of staying with 10 other guys competing, that's going to be very interesting. So I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, I'm traveling normally on the Thursday evening from Denmark and then staying up to Monday morning, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, then I think that for sure will be like not just like competition in isolated, but the whole experience I think would be very very fun.
Yeah,
I competed the first year, and we like stayed on the cabin, and usually I met most of the competitors before, but usually it's just while you compete, so it's a bit fun to like stay around and cook and chill and
yeah,
like talk together, except of just when you're in like kill mode.
yeah. It's going to be very interesting.
So, just the last question to finish it off. Like, you've competed now for 2-3 years, and this will be about, I don't know, like your 10th competition or something.
Yeah, maybe 8, maybe
Yeah.
somewhere around that.
Yeah. So what's your general thoughts about this competition coming up? Do you handle it differently because it's more events and over 2 days, or do you look at it the same, or like what's your general thoughts of this competition compared to what you've done before?
Well, I can also say that I have Denmark's Strongest Man, which is 3 weeks after.
Mm.
So I'm kind of prepping for both at the same time, but I'm definitely focusing more on Norway.
Mm.
Some of the events are also very similar between the two. But I would say this is the comp I'm prepping the most for in my short career.
Mm.
I'm really looking forward to it, and I want to be the best I can. So I'm just training a lot of events at the moment because I think the strength level is okay, but I'm training a lot of the events right now, technique and trying to optimize the time on some of the events.
Yeah, I think this competition is a good test of being like a good, clever strongman. Not particularly the best, but like smart and strategic. Like when do you save power? When to yeah. I think
Yeah.
it's a very interesting competition.
Yeah, I've never done a 2-day competition either, so usually when I wake up the next morning after a show, I'm quite beat up. But
Yeah.
of course, it's the same for everyone. So it's going to be interesting to see how my body can work on the 2-day competition.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's it for now. I want to take you, Denis, for your time, and wish you good luck in Stavtjorn.
Yeah, thanks, and thanks for doing these interviews with the guys. I think it's nice that we put some exposure on some of the less known strongmen.
Yeah,